Oh, mercy. How you do, Buckers? How the heck are you? Wow, that's not bad. So, anyways, it's still hotter than hell. I just found this actually today. Tallgrass Blueberry Jam. Blueberry Berliner Weiss German tart wheat ale brewed with blueberries. 4.3%. A little higher traditionally for the style. But most American versions that I've been seeing are hover anywhere between 4. I've even seen a 1 at 5. But traditionally you do run typically between 2.5 to 3.5. 4 really is a high end, but Americans have a hard time getting anything under 4% apparently. I gotta admit, I guess I've said this several times now, but this is a style that's taken me a long time to get used to. And what I've done over about the last, I don't know, probably close to 3 years now, is that every time I see one, I buy one. Because if I'm not going to like the style, by golly, I'm going to know if I've got a good one or not. And for those people that say you can't judge a beer by a style, you can't rate a beer by a style, you can't do a review for a beer by style because it's impossible to learn all styles. Well, you know, you may not know every style at once, but it's not impossible to learn a style and keep trying a style until you can learn it, I guess is my point. I don't really review beers, I don't rate them, I don't judge them. Personally, I think it's asinine. Because 9 out of 10 beer reviewers are just pulling numbers out their ass, they don't know what they're doing. I give this beer a 70, why? Why? Why'd you give it a 70? Show me exactly where you took 30 points off, and I guarantee you, you may find 1 out of 10 that actually can. The bottom line is I get frustrated with folks saying a beer is average or it's even bad just because they don't get the style. It's taken me a long time to understand the style, and I got to admit that I'm still learning the style. And that's the thing about craft beer is, if you're passing yourself off as an expert, I wonder what your criteria is for that. We all should be learning, no matter how many years we've been doing this. It is a wheat ale that uses blueberry puree, 4.3%. Using my Beer Whisperer glass. I didn't have a traditional Berliner Weiss glass, but I've looked on some websites. Some of the glasses are very similar to a goblet. Some even say you can use one, so that's why I'm using this. It is a hazy beer with a tart finish. Uses 2-row and wheat malt on this particular one. You do feel a little bit of the blueberry on the nose. It's nice. You know what? I'm starting to learn this style. I'm starting to enjoy it. For a long time, I just didn't enjoy it. I was just buying them and really trying to learn. But I am finally getting to the point where I am starting to find them enjoyable, especially on a day like today. 4.3%, as I said earlier. Certainly, you know, I'm going to call it session. So I don't think that 0.3 makes a difference for those that draw a line at 4. Really, that's that extra 0.3 that's going to jack you up. Anyways, you do feel that nice soft wheat on the nose. A nice, crisp, dry, tart finish. It's very enjoyable, actually. It's just a beer that, okay, I only bought this, in all honesty, because it was $7.97 a 6-pack. Yeah, I mean, it had a great price on it. I figured, why not? So the question is, would I buy this again? The answer is, yeah, I would. I don't know if I'll buy it again this season, this summer, but I will certainly look forward again next season. Is a beer that I'm going to look for when the temperatures dip under 80? Honestly, probably not for me, because certain beers taste good at certain times. For me, I mean, it's about 100 out here today with the heat index, so this beer kind of hits the spot. But what I will do is enjoy the hell out of the 6-pack I did buy. I may even use one to marinate some chicken or pork. So I think it'd be great. They could be lost on beef, but I think it'd be fine for chicken and pork. I'd like to get a couple Cornish game hens, what I like to do, and soak that with some various herbs and seasonings, you know. I think that'd be awesome, actually. Is this a beer that I personally drink more than one of in a row? Honestly, for me, no. But in fairness to the beer, there's very few that I drink more than one in a row. I mean, it's tart, it's refreshing, but I already have that flavor on my taste buds, so now I'm going to go a different direction. But it is certainly, if you can find this beer in your neck of the woods, Bub tried to get on my glass there. The hazards of drinking outside. If you could find this in your neck of the woods, from Tallgrass out of Manhattan, Kansas. I mean, see if they're still there. Sometimes I get fooled. I think a brewery's in a certain place, and then you look and find out they've been bought out and they're made somewhere else, or they're contract brewing. That had happened to me a couple times, but now it's still in Manhattan, Kansas. It's a brewery that I still haven't been able to get to. I keep trying to get to them, and something keeps coming up. Excuse me. I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, something about using my goblet. And this particular goblet was one from my dad's bar back in the mid-'60s. So this glass is over 50 years old. But the writing on it, my daughter did for me a couple years ago. Let's see, I think the date's on here. She did it in 15. She was just learning how to etch on glass at the time. Now she does some very intricate work. She's really got good at it. But I love this glass because it has her name on the bottom, and she's handmade by Callista. So I don't know if you guys can read that. There it says the Beer Whisperer. It's easier to read when the beer is full. Unless I'm drinking a dark beer, then you can't see it at all. So there you go. This type of glass was real popular back in the day because it looks like a big glass. It is not. It only holds 10 ounces. And that was a trick, as most beer bars of the time only gave you a 10-ounce pour. A draft glass was cheaper than a bottle, but what they weren't telling you was your bottle's 12 ounces, your draft is 10, and that's where the profit was back then. So there you go. That was before craft beer. You know, that was when all beer were pretty much the same. So there you go. Hey, I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. BeerVangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and all-around good guy. Yum. I shit you not. See if I can get over here, turn the camera off.